All right, we are live. Welcome once again to another Pokemon Draft League, Gen 2 Draft League match review. I don't know why I struggled to get the title out that time, but I sure did. Well, yeah,
You got
we're
there.
back. We got there. I am joined as ever by Carter, and once again by Robin. Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, we got some. This is our second to last match review of the. Well, okay, not really. We're gonna do it for playoffs too, but of the regular season, this is our second to last one, and this is a pretty. This will be a little quicker than our normal ones. I think this is a pretty spicy couple or a group of matches. But yeah, let's not mess around too much. We could just get into it. We got first off Scrambled Egg versus the Coronet Commanders. Um, I could talk a little bit about this team as I did help craft it. Um, so yeah, this matchup seemed to me to be pretty damn difficult for Scrambled Egg. So we came up with some alternative strategies here to try to basically confuse and surprise the commanders. Didn't work. Didn't really work, but we did have some interesting stuff. Um, I don't. I think actually some things I don't want to say too much about because it didn't work, and so it's like maybe it could work in the future. So I don't want to
Just keep it
like.
in the back
I'm
pocket.
gonna keep it in the yeah, but the main. I mean, one of the things we do. I don't remember actually what we see. So you know what? I'm gonna keep quiet for now. Carter, do you
The
wanna?
gravity. I was very baffled by the gravity thing, especially since I remember I actually rewatched our look ahead from last week the other day,
Uh
and I
huh.
remember you saying something about gravity with Steelix to hit Skarmory for super effective, but Steelix did not come to this match, so I don't really know what that was for.
Okay, so yeah, so we didn't see what the gravity's for. You maybe could guess, but I mean, the idea. I'll say the idea is Crobat has hypnosis, so
Ah,
you gravity, and then Crobat's very fast and has hypnosis. So that was the plan. That plan got wrecked.
so
Um,
so like my Jan Strat.
it is like
I'm
that, but better because you get to use better Pokemon to do it.
Yeah.
um, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. Any thoughts on the matchups from either
I
of you
I
before we
do
start?
agree. It's kind of a tough, kind of an awkward one. Especially because some Greenlee's hardest hitters don't pair up really really well into the Commanders' two big stars in Tyranitar and Suicune, and so that's just kind of an unfortunate matchup. Like, there's a lot of the attacks that they want to click are going to be resisted by a lot of the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, we'll talk about it in the look aheads. But uh, I had a last minute suggestion for this team that ended up being really stupid, but it worked out in practice. So
All right. Okay. Cool. So let's get into the match and see how it goes. So the lead is Suicune Houndoom, which is not something we expected. I think this is where okay, we see Snarl and Snarl like screws up this lead. Like part of the idea was, you know, to avoid hitting the physically tanky Pokemon with these special attackers, but then it's
Mhm.
just a Snarl lead and it's like, well, fuck. That does not feel great.
Especially because
Yeah.
Houndoom's not a Pokemon that has been brought very often.
No, it's
Yeah,
not, but
Houndoom
it's
Suicune was one of the potential leads against Brian in our practice that we found was really good, but it wasn't the best into that particular team.
mhm.
So I was very yeah, it was a nice surprise I get to see it again here. Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, quite devastating for Greenlee.
We see a pretty weak Dazzling Gleam, especially after this special attack drop, and then a Power Whip. Okay, yeah, so this was the tech. This is actually a physical Executor.
Wild to me.
Yeah.
But
With
I guess it
Power Whip.
makes more sense against Suicune since Suicune's low physical defense.
It's
It really has special.
overall quite good, and Power Whip's a much stronger move than Giga Drain, so like it just helps you pump out the damage at a higher rate. I honestly think when you see this lead, targeting Suicune is probably maybe not it. I mean I don't know. Like you could also we were running Nasty Plot on Girafarig, so that could have maybe helped a little, but I don't know how you're just gonna expect Snarl. I don't know. It's kind of tough.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like with this, it feels bad to burn the Terra so early
Hmm.
for Terra Fairy. Like, you boost the power of Dazzling Gleam and you don't take super effective from Snarl, sure, but like, you would have lived the Snarl anyway.
Hmm.
So I think the turn would have just been much better used by doing almost anything else. Setting up Trick Room, using a boosting move, doing something to gain board position rather than doing a little bit of chip damage. Because
Yeah.
none these Pokemon are likely to have Focus Sash, so you're not like worried about breaking it. And the Terra Grass and Executor absolutely would have secured the kill.
Yeah, Terragrass would have been the better play here for sure. Because like you can sack this Girafarig a bit more. You can afford to sack it more than you can
Yeah.
afford to sack Executor. So I mean, I don't know. Hindsight's 2020, but yeah, that was really close on that kill. The idea here was to like fake like you think it's gonna be Trick Room, and so you taunt. So I'm also kind of surprised to not see a taunt on either Pokemon. But I guess when you're faced with two Trick Room users and you don't know who to taunt, just going for an attack to sort of split the difference there, like it does kind of make sense. But yeah, the idea was definitely to like make it seem like the Trick Room was gonna come out. But now this Snarl's just doing way too much damage. Thunderbolt doesn't even finish at the two special attack drop. This is why you kind of need that Nasty Plot, because like you'd be at least hitting neutral right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
The Nasty Plot's pretty important, and the crit on that Scald I feel like does matter honestly to get 40% out of that slot. But now we see both Pokemon going down basically just from getting snarled over and over again. And this is where I think another big mistake comes out. Like going into the Iron Head onto this slot, I think just it's too much of ignoring Houndoom, because Houndoom's a pretty frail Pokemon. Like it can die probably just from an extreme speed or at least close.
Yeah.
Like I'd be going for extreme speeds into the slot. I mean, I guess I understand killing this because you don't want to take a Scald to the face. So like it does kind of make some sense, I suppose.
I
And it was
guess,
pretty
but you
low.
would have lived a Scald.
You would have lived a Scald for sure, yeah. So here we see the Kangaskhan coming out. The Terra Flying will protect it. Iron Head goes into that slot for neutral. Brick Break is resisted. And this is also, I think it's interesting to note, this is clearly like
Yeah,
a special Tyranitar. And it's not Sandstream either. It's like a
Yeah,
nerve.
it's Unnerve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
Also, I have to point out,
Weird
is
thing.
this Entei choiced?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, because when I was watching it back, the only move that it used was Iron Head, even when it had, presumably better options. Like, it never went for Extreme Speed or Sacred Fire. So I was like, it's got to be choice locked or something.
I mean, I think you didn't see the Terra Flying, so I understand the Iron Head in that
No, I
context. But
understand in this match, but I mean in the next match.
oh, in the next match, yeah. I mean, you can cover for. It might have been. Maybe it's choice, and I just forgot that it was choice. But yeah, this flamethrower does massive damage. The Thunder Punch does finish off the Tyranitar, but this Houndoom's been allowed to live for a little bit too long, and just yeah, you didn't get rid of the Houndoom.
Yeah.
And like Houndoom kind of
Best
carried that
Houndoom
game.
showing we've seen, I think,
Yeah, I
so
mean,
far.
Houndoom Giga carried.
Is it just me or is the stream a little jittery? Is that just
Oh, it
me?
definitely is jittering.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Uh, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what I can do about that.
Me neither.
All right. Well, we'll just
We'll
have
just
to
keep on.
keep going, keep trucking. So game two, an interesting one. So we go with the other lead that we talked about. This is where we were like, okay, we'll do some gravity hypnosis stuff, and we see Wheezing Houndoom. And so this is Terra Normal, Choice Band, Explosion.
Yeah.
Choice Banded Explosion, Wheezing, and that is just not something you prepare for. I'm not gonna lie, that's insane.
No, this
That
move
was pretty nuts.
was nuts, and also like it pisses me off because now in future weeks I have to prepare for this type of bullshit.
I mean, like, it's such a risky move. Like, if at any point you just press protect, like, then it just doesn't work. I don't know. I
mean, you ran Explosion into James's team though.
I did, and I almost lost the game for pressing it, but yeah.
But it was funny.
This is the part where Lily says absolute cinema in the chat.
Yeah.
Just cinema.
Cinema. I mean, that was insane. And now we get, like, these two together. I don't know. It's a tough task for these two to beat 3. I mean, you have the gravity up, but it doesn't really benefit you in any way at this point, unfortunately. So yeah, we see the terrace.
Draft Rig should learn hypnosis.
I mean, yeah, but we weren't running it on Draft Rig. We were running other stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Snarl just kind of dumpsters Giraffe Rig completely. I think, does it go for Nasty Plot this time around? No, just Thunderbolt. Anticipating the Terra Flying, I suppose. Which, like, I could see it. If it was a Terra Flying, it could have helped. I mean, doesn't quite finish off this Kangaskhan, but does get the flinch, which is pretty nice. The Protect comes out, and the Flamethrower just murders the Entei. I think we were not max speed on Entei, because if we were, then surely we would be fast. I mean, like, I know that this Pokemon can be faster at 167, yeah. So you have to be max speed on Entei. We weren't max speed on Entei. I think we were at a speed tier. I don't know what we were trying to outspeed, but yeah. The Terra Steel ends up kind of screwing you here, because if you just don't use Terra, you're actually in a pretty good spot. So that Terra Steel kind of screws you up. But yeah, this Dazzling Gleam does like nothing after one special attack drop, and Flamethrower just finishes it. It's just over with the burn damage. Yeah, so pretty devastating explosion. Not a very close match, I'm not gonna lie.
And Houndoom never died.
Houndoom never died and did like a bajillion damage. I haven't run the stats for this week yet, just because the game's only recently concluded, but I'm sure Houndoom's going to be pretty high up there.
Yeah,
like
Houndoom stock going up.
Yeah, KDA and damage is going to be very strong for this Pokemon this time around.
Sell Houndoom stock now.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not actually very good options for Houndoom outside of the Sudowoodo. So it's like maybe a Sudowoodo could have really helped here. It would have survived the explosion and dealt with the Houndoom. So something for next time. Like, I don't think this is like a unwinnable matchup by any means, but like,
no.
The Commanders just brought some non-standard stuff. And, like, I don't know. Who wouldn't lose to Choice Band Explosion Wheezing? Like, how do you anticipate that?
That was the only non-standard thing that they did. And it was
also
enough.
Special
Tyranitar with Unnerve.
People do special Tyranitar a lot. I mean, Unnerve is...
Well, really non-standard in terms of, like, what the Commanders usually do is more what
yeah. That's true.
This was definitely not your typical Commanders squad. But yeah, let's move into the next game. So this is my game versus James. This is a really exciting series. I think this is probably most fun I've had in like the series so far in this season. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'll talk a little bit about what I brought. So I brought Choice Scarf Max Speed Golem, which outspeeds maximum speed Galarian Moltres and can hit it for super effective damage with 2 different types of moves, which makes it hard to cover for terrestrialization wise. And yeah, I think that's kind of hilarious. And I was really surprised that Golem could do it, but Golem can just do it with max speed and Choice Scarf. Choice Scarf is crazy. Then outside of that, I have pretty normal sets on everything else. I am bringing Miltank for once. This is like one of the better Miltank matchups I've found. It's mostly just because I want a support that has a little bit of bulk because there's so much spread moves flying around. From the Moltres especially, like having a support that can work around that is good, and then it's fast enough to be faster than some of these Pokemon that it needs to be, where Smeargle is not. So you can get some Icy Wind speed control with it, and with Scrappy, it's immune to Intimidate, which is nice against the Hitmontop. So yeah, overall, like pretty decent Miltank game. I wasn't really ever planning on using the Slow King, to be honest, but it is good versus Tyranitar. That's like the only reason I brought it. As for James's team, I was really surprised to see that they brought Furret, and very scared because Furret is crazy. Furret's like so good. Like it's.
I am so happy that at the end of this match, he puts in the chat that like he watches these videos and he was like, oh, I heard Robin talk about how good Furret is.
Yeah.
I have influenced 3 out of 4 matchups this week.
Yeah. So it's pretty impressive. The Terra Rock also is a very good Terra, I think. It's like not one you would think of, but it's pretty good because it can resist like everything Ho-Oh does, which is a very annoying Terra for Ho-Oh, basically. And then the Terra Ground, this is the first time we saw not Terra Ice on Feraligatr. Ground is a much better Terra. It really screws up Golem, which Ice would have let Golem just deal with this Pokemon with impunity. But yeah. Carter, any thoughts before we start?
Yeah, I was also surprised to see Furret here. It doesn't end up being used all that much, at least not maybe to its full potential, but it's pretty good.
Yeah,
no, since we know that he's watching, Tidy Up Baton Pass is an option.
Don't
really good.
Don't
it's
give them
so
more ideas.
Good. You should definitely play that.
Alrighty, let's watch the game. So the lead I have is Golem Ho. I was always planning to lead this. We see Feraligatr Furret. So I almost pressed Explosion right here. I almost protect Explosion because I'm like, this is free. But then I canceled it because I thought about the Terra Ground at the last minute. So thank God I canceled that and chose something else. But I think, we see the Frisk from Furret. I mean, Furret has Frisk too. Damn, Furret's so good. I still did go for the Protect. And then I went for the Rock Slide, which was just nothing. Very unfortunate miss. I mean, not that unfortunate. It wouldn't have done that much damage anyway. So this kind of puts me in a bad spot because the Earthquake comes out and instantly Golem is killed. Not amazing start. Definitely not an amazing start. But I think I can dig myself out of this hole. So I bring the Blossom out, go for the Terra Fairy, trying to, make sure I survive a potential Ice Punch. And then we see a Follow Me. I go for the Flare Blitz. This is where it's, like, incredible to me how tanky Furret is. That is, like, a max attack, like, 130 power stab move into this Furret. And it just tanks it like a fucking champ. I was in my head when I was discussing this on the video. I'm like, I don't know if Furret has Sash, but at least I can find out right now. And then I Flare Blitzed into it and it did 64, and I'm like, well, shit, I guess I can't find out. I'm not going to find out if Furret has Sash right now because I just don't think
that's actually nuts.
Yeah, it's insane.
Completely nuts. I don't know, like, this is just like Noctowl. Like, Furret does not have the stats for that to make any fucking sense.
No, that's what I'm telling you. It like a lot of these supportive mons that if you understand, like, this isn't a Smeargle situation where you need the speed. You're using like priority moves and setup moves, and that's it. So you invest
max bulk.
Like Pokemon that invest in max bulk get so insanely bulky. It is truly incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 64 is the base defense.
Yeah, so like
oh my god.
My advice from personal experience running 2 separate Pokemons that should not live attacks. Unless you've done the calcs, Focus Sash is less useful than you'd think on these guys.
Yeah,
85 HP. I mean, that's decent. It's a decent
it's a
base
pretty
HP,
good
but it's not
HP stat.
amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, this Flare Blitz just doesn't do it. It takes a bit of recoil. The Ice Punch comes out. It's actually, like, if I had Terra, because, like, this could have been a liquidation and then Ho just dies. But obviously James anticipating that I'll use my Terra flying in this slot. Not the right call. And so Ho does get to live, which is pretty nice. Then I go for the greedy play and with this Quiver Dance. But that's pretty nice. Like, now I can go for this Dazzling Gleam to hit both. With my Quiver Dance, I'm faster, do pretty good damage, and I take the liquidation with the Sash on that switch in, and I get Fake Out Pressure, which actually ends up being, like, pretty important here, because now Hitmontop comes out, and I debated, in my head I agonized a lot over what to do, because I totally forgot that I have Fake Out. I'm like, no, like, James is gonna fake me out, I don't know what slot, what do you do? And then I was like, wait, I just have the faster Fake Out. And so that's what I do. I just get the Fake Out and I get to go for another Dazzling Gleam. It's just it's pretty devastating. Blossom, once it gets the one Quiver Dance up against this team with its powerful fairy attacks, like, the Umbreon's Bash really hates fairy type moves, and I got the lucky speed boost onto the Moody speed boost, huge for Smeargle. That can be pretty game winning, and it allows me. I greed even harder with a second Quiver Dance, which is just
Blossom's a
completely.
fucking champ.
Yeah, it especially against this team. Like, yeah, Blossom carrying the team super hard and just gets the Dazzling Gleam for the double KO. I think Blossom got, like, every KO at that time, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no, it did. It got every KO. So hats off to Blossom with the Terra Fairy. Very, very
Best Pokemon in
strong.
the league.
Yeah. Blossom rules. I love Blossom now. I was like, kind of whatever about Blossom for this season, but this is definitely the Pokemon I've developed the strongest attachment to on my team over the course of the season. This Pokemon has carried me time and time again, and, like, fixed matchups that were, like, otherwise seemingly unwinnable. Like, Blossom just comes in and is like, I got you, bro. So yeah, Death Crusher 69, absolutely death crushing, in a 69 kind of way. So we love to see it.
For sure.
Game 2, I decided to do something different. Obviously, my whole Golem lead wasn't really working out exactly as I had hoped. So this time, this is the debut of Miltank, week 6. We finally get to see it. Might be the only time we ever see it because it doesn't work out. But I feel like it's not.
Part 2.
Because Miltank was in another team, but it didn't actually hit the field.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we see Miltank on the field. I don't think it's really Miltank's fault, to be 100% honest. Like, I feel like Miltank actually did fine. I think I just kind of misplayed outside of Miltank, but yeah. And I brought Ho out front, which honestly, like, in retrospect, I don't really know why I did this. I could have just let Golem. It would have been fine.
I love the admission. You're just like, I fucked up a little bit.
Like, well, it's just because Golem died in one hit in the previous one against the Earthquake, so I'm like, shit, I need to delete something else. So I wanted something that wouldn't die in one hit to Golem. But the thing is, like, Ho also dies in one hit, or in one hit to Feraligatr. But Ho also dies in one hit to Feraligatr, so it doesn't really end up making a lot of sense. But yeah, the Intimidate doesn't work on these Pokemon. I'm going for the Protect, so because I know about the Fake Out. I decided to play rough. This is where, like,
Oh, goodness.
it really is unfortunate. I get some pretty bad RNG throughout the series, I think, because I've missed a Rock Slide now, and I've missed a Play Rough, and we're gonna see some more bad luck later. But yeah, this Play Rough is a two shot onto Hitmontop, so I was kind of hoping, like, I could do a lot of damage there. And then James does the right thing by going for this Dragon Dance here. It really punishes my defensive play. Because now the Dragon Dance up, like, I agonized over this move a lot because now this Pokemon's faster than me, and I don't even know if I can live with the Terra. So I go for the Terra just, like, praying that I can live this Liquidation, and I do. It's kind of close, but I live it. And then I have to go for this Icy Wind to get the speed back in my favor. But the dual Wing Beat will finish off that Hitmontop. And I might be a little lucky here. I think that might be a roll because Hitmontop like that is not a guaranteed kill. The dual wing beat. Like I did get the chip from Icy Wind, which is a little bit, but it's quite low, like 3%. It's definitely a roll. It's definitely very possible that I don't pick up the KO there, and then I think if a Rock Slide comes out from Hitmontop,
Even with terrifying, you think it was still?
I think it would. I think the 23% is too low that I think the Rock Slide will take me out. But I'm not 100%. I mean, you could also just miss the Rock Slide as well. So, who knows. But yeah, I think that roll was in my favor. So here, I go for a Rock Slide just hoping to get a flinch somewhere. Dude land the double Rock Slide, so that's nice. And set up the Tailwind. I'm thinking I can just sack Ho-Oh here and get the Tailwind for my next Pokemon to come out. Liquidation comes out into the Miltank, who tanks it like a champ. And that means that because I assume it's because of this Moltres flinch, which is actually lucky. So it's nice I got that. That means that basically I get another turn. So I can go for this Helping Hand and dual Wing Beat into the Feraligatr, which is pretty huge because this Feraligator's is threatening huge damage. The Terra Blast comes out, finally taking Miltank down. And so Ho-Oh's just kind of getting to live and do a lot more than I feel like I ever expected it to. But yeah, with the Tailwind out, I can go for like some Spore play, but this is where I kind of mess up. And instead of... Oh no, this is not where I mess up. But I do mess up in a second, like this. And look at this! What is this ferret? Just living... Just dual Wing Beat. I mean, I get the dual Wing Beat's not that strong. But it's like... I don't know.
You're Terra Flying, too.
Yeah, but that's Terra Flying boosted dual Wing Beat into the... For just living with 46% for is crazy.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So this is where I mess up a lot though, because I have the Tailwind. I kind of have a pretty free Spore. Like I am faster on Ho, so I can kill this Ferret and Spore the Moltres, but I kind of mess up because what I do here is instead I go for a Decorate. But it's like this Decorate doesn't really make any sense considering Ho is just about to die. So I just kind of wasted a move entirely. Except Ho lives somehow. So I guess maybe it wasn't that bad. But I don't have the speed control anymore at this point. I do win the speed tie.
You die with the Flare Blitz.
Yeah. I win the speed tie. And I do get some damage in, which is nice. But I can't get the Spore now because I'm slower because the Tailwind's gone. So now I die. And with the +1 to special attack, this Air Slash just kills me instantly. So I feel like I kind of managed to clench defeat from the jaws of victory there by just not clicking Spore. But yeah, well played, James. Definitely the Bash, digging themselves out of a hole there.
Oh, I just ran the Calyx. Max attack... Like, not even max attack, just max investment. Ho-Oh always, like, it's a 90% chance to KO a max bulk Hitmontop. So,
Yeah, okay.
no, you're gonna pick that up pretty much regardless.
Okay, I definitely had in my practice several times where I didn't quite get it. But I guess with the Terra Flying, I should always get it. With the Terra Flying, I always get it. But without the Terra Flying, maybe is what I was thinking of.
Yeah, if you don't Terra Flying, then it's a lot more whatever. But with Terra Flying, it's pretty much guaranteed.
It's pretty much guaranteed. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I think I knew that now I think about it. But yeah, game 3 has been a pretty crazy one. Now I'm like, all right, Blossom needs to be the star of the show. That's my best answer versus this team is the Terra Fairy Blossom, so we're just going to lead into it and help it set up with the fake out. So I go Blossom and Smeargle. We see the very standard. I feel like every time James is in a final game scenario, we always see this coming out. The Moltres Hitmontop.
I mean, it's reliable. It's
bread and butter.
Like, you know that you can count on it. Like, it may not be the best matchup, but it's always something that is at least good.
Yeah. So we see that coming back out, but the thing is, that's like the worst thing into this Smeargle. Like, it's pretty. This is like food for Smeargle and Blossom, basically, because you have the faster fake outs. So you could just fake out into the slot, and then you can Terra Fairy very safely and go for this Quiver Dance, but you can't when you just flinch.
Yeah.
So that's one flinch. I'm like, oh no, this is so bad. I'm like, okay, you know what? It's fine. It's okay. I'll get another chance. I could spore. I decided to spore the Hitmontop because I'm thinking I can Giga Drain back my health out of the Blaziken. Or not Blaziken, why did I say that?
The
It's because
you said Blaziken because it says
it says
Blitzen,
Blitzen.
and it's a bird
It's a
that
bird.
has fire on it.
Yeah, so the Moltres. I'm thinking I can Giga Drain
If
my health back enough to survive whatever Moltres is
you
gonna
called
do.
Tyranitar Kangaskhan earlier because
I
it's named
did. Yeah, because
Kangaskhan.
it's Genghis. Yeah. Um. So yeah, we see the I do the spore into the Hitmontop, thinking I can Giga Drain this Pokemon and then I can survive. Um.
And you could have.
But I flinched, so I
Yeah.
can't. Twice in a
But
row.
next, here's the thing that I was like confused about when I was because I watched your video of this. You get the very next turn you get the speed boost on Smeargle, but you don't go for Spore into Moltres.
I guess I didn't notice the speed boost. That's probably what
Yeah,
happens.
I was yelling at my screen, the speed boost! You got the speed boost! You notice
Yeah,
it next turn, but you
I
didn't
noticed
notice
it
it that you
next
could have
turn.
spored the Moltres and then
And then
gotten the
gone
Giga
for the
Drain for
Giga
free.
Drain. I go for. I'm like, all right, well, fine. I guess Blossom will have to come play later, and I can switch into Golem, which will tank the Air Slash, which I'm expecting pretty easily. Yeah, so I switched into the Golem. Let me see. I switch on the other side as well. I went for the Decorate. I wanted to set up Golem to do some stuff, and this is where I get to do the funny thing, and I can just explode. Because I know I'm
We've all
expecting
been
some.
waiting for it.
Yeah, I'm expecting some follow me. So I go for the explosion that I've been wanting to do, and I'm like
See,
knowing I'm
didn't
gonna
you
live
have
on Sash.
Protect?
No, I didn't have Protect, but I had Sash, so I'm
Oh.
like, it's fine, whatever. I can spore this. And I do learn that it's Focus Sash on Furret in the last moment
Yep.
when I'm finally able to do enough damage, but it's okay. I got rid of Moltres. That's what anti Moltres is here to do. Did its job. Also got this other Pokemon down to 1%, which means one Dazzling Gleam is putting me uh, in a safe position. But now I can just safely spore because at this point I've noticed the speed boost, so I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
I can just safely spore and go for like a Giga Drain or whatever. And so I do that. I'm really lucky this isn't safety goggles. If this was like a safety goggles, I would have probably just lost. But good for me. No safety goggles. And yeah, it's pretty easy from here. Now all I need to do is throw some Dazzling Gleams up. We see a follow me. I was going for Decorate. I didn't think that
Oh
Pokemon
yeah, the
would wake
following
up.
decorate was funny. It didn't matter, but it's funny.
It did not matter, no. But I go for this Quiver Dance just to get set up a little bit. We see two wake ups. The Rock Slide misses. I don't think it would have mattered like if it hit, to be honest. But yeah, this is where I kind of mess around a little bit and maybe mess up because I didn't have to dual Wing Beat. I could have just Flare Blitzed into this slot.
Oh yeah. Well, who? I mean, I didn't even realize dual wing beat was inaccurate
Yeah, it is. It's like 95 and
until I saw that.
it's 95. So that's a pretty unlucky miss. I think the RNG is like really hating me
Yeah.
overall in this series. But yeah, the dual wing beat misses. The rock slide does miss as well, though. So kind of it balances out. That rock slide might have killed me, probably would
Yeah.
have. So
Yeah,
it
definitely
kind
would've.
of so it balances out, and then yeah, but I can get another dazzling gleam. Like it's him on top can't do anything to this Blossom. So Blossom, yeah, you can see we chatted a lot about this series after that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Blossom just way too good. Just carried me. Like I won off the back of Blossom, 100%. So sad that Miltank didn't get the win. I think Miltank did a good stuff, but it just wasn't enough. And yeah, we can move on to the next match.
Oh
I'm
yes.
so happy with this.
I'm
As
not.
as I was so fucking excited. I watched it like unironically popping off. I was so happy that he finally got his first win. And like, uh, first off, I'd like to say I'm sorry, Carter. This was a team of my creation. You were facing me in disguise. I helped. I pretty much built the team and I coached him. Like we did a lot of prep work and it fucking paid off.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I did like no prep work whatsoever. This was kind of just me winging it. I built my team like 10 minutes before the game. I did
Oh
like
no.
one game of practice, like just to see if my strategy might work. I did exactly one game, not like a whole match, just one game. My
Not even
I
a
had a
series.
Oh no.
concept of a plan, which was just use Sneasel and Celebi and nasty plot set up against him, and
Damn.
that's just kind of what I rolled with. And I was so slapdash in my preparation, I forgot to even put Flame Orb on Heracross, which is the biggest blunder of my career since forgetting that Fake Out only works turn one with Dewgong in Gen 1. But yeah,
Yeah,
it
This
was. I
this
feel like
dangerous moment.
I was okay. This like considering all those factors, I played my best, and I think Chris played really well here too. This is not only his best team, but I think also his best performance of the season. So
Yeah,
goes to
Chris
him.
Chris played really, really well, and I told him during practice that like he's not doing a bad job. Like he's almost winning a lot of games, and if he just played like 10% better, he would have won a lot of games.
definitely.
And he went out there and gave me like 20, 30, maybe even 50% better. He played out of his goddamn mind,
Yeah.
and it really paid off. Um, I'm really proud of him. I understand why people have kids now. Like, oh man, like you get to like help them out and then watch them succeed. This shit's exhilarating.
Yeah, yeah. I think yeah, I helped a little too with this team. My the weakness policy, Lugia, the Thunderbolt was my idea. I think putting flip turn on
Yeah, Thunderbolt was devastating.
the flip turn on
Yeah,
the what's it called? Flip turn on Kingdra.
the Kingdra.
I think that was good.
Um,
Actually, I didn't even
As you
think
know,
about it that
that was
that's
very
much.
just
surprising.
But the
I
flip
actually, yeah, because I decided pretty early on. I went through all your team and thought, well, two things that I decided Kingdra is going to be the anchor. It's can pump out the most damage, and also, um, Special Kingdra feels bad, mostly because
yeah.
Draco Meteor is your best Dragon Stab, and it lowers your own special attack, so you can only use it like once, maybe twice, and then you gotta swap out.
Mm-hmm.
And that sucks. And your team, Carter, is across the board weaker on the physical defense,
Mm-hmm.
and Kingdra's a perfectly balanced Pokemon. So running
Yeah,
physical
that was like
Kingdra,
one of my first thoughts was like, I'll bring Mantine because I'm very especially bulky with Mantine, and he doesn't have many physical attackers, except for Kangaskhan. But no, you kind of just solved that with the physical Kingdra.
yeah.
But
Plus,
also, you didn't need to solve it with Kingdra. You had Thunderbolt on Lugia, which is, yeah,
mhm.
that's all you need to deal with Mantine. A single electric type attack is all you need to do to beat Mantine.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, that's why we ran Blissey's because your team leans very special. Uh, I will say this is not an unbeatable team in practice. I found out pretty
No.
early that Sneasel's a huge fucking problem for
Oh
this
yeah,
team.
huge problem.
If you had run more ice type moves, like we went over scenarios where I had what I thought was the best
Yeah,
Sneasel
I
set.
forgot to even put triple axle on Sneasel.
Yeah, so we practiced against that. So,
Yeah.
and he did win in practice a couple times against a better Sneasel set, but it would have turned like a pretty clean 2 game win into a very messy maybe 3 game win.
Yeah, for sure. I think
Like I
also
think my Sneasel set was okay. I had fake out, taunt, knock off, and um, protect. I think. So I think it was okay. Just maybe I should have had that triple axle.
I wouldn't mind to see Swords Dance Sneasel. I think one of these days, like Swords Dance Sneasel coming out could be pretty fucking strong because you already have the speed advantage and you have Sash. So if you don't
True.
get doubled, it's like not even that greedy. Like you can pick up KOs. Like I don't know. I think it could be legit. But one thing I want to say is I think the flip turn with the Kangaskhan, like I didn't even think about it at the time, but it's pretty nice because you can swap in and out like between the Kangaskhan
Yeah.
and the Kingdra a little bit more easily, and it allows you to like get fake out pressure multiple times over. But yeah,
Yeah, we talked about that a bunch and it was really good. we can get more in specifics later on because there was some moments that happened in game that we had specifically prepped for.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good. It felt really nice to see it all come together in a shockingly clean way.
Yeah, really happy for Chris. I think the whole league's pretty happy for Chris that he finally got a
Yeah.
win. Um, yeah, I saw a lot of party reacts in the chat, but let's go ahead and watch the game and see how it plays out. Okay, so the lead is Celebi, Sneasel into the Kingdra and Jumpluff. So I like that lead already, but we see a very quick switch, tanking that fake out, and the Tailwind comes out in the Nasty Plot. So a lot of setup on both sides, but now the fake out pressure is down and Tailwind is up. So pretty nice.
This is another thing that we practiced for specifically is like, what do you do in this situation? Because Jumpluff Kingdra is going to be the lead basically every time. And he was like, oh, I could just flip turn out. And I was like, what if you get fake out, right? Like, the goal is to not get Kingdra caught out against strong ice type moves and then die.
Yeah.
So, just going ahead and hard switching, getting getting out of there so you
Ice type
mitigate
moves?
some of the fake out damage.
The ice will be neutral, but
Yeah, but
the Giga Drain
Kindra's
also.
shockingly frail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Celebi's set up, but you have the fake out pressure right now, so we see the Terra Ghost come out from Sneasel. I think you're worried about the fake out there, but the sleep powder just puts you to sleep. Very nice with the Tailwind, and then the flinch obviously buys you some time. Does burn a Tailwind turn, but it is what it is. I'm kind of surprised how little damage this Pollen Puff does. I get the Jump Luff is weak, but that's 4x, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Correct.
is. See, Celebi is like tanky as fuck. It's 100 base stats in all departments, so
Yeah.
Well, it's also that this is a zero investment special attack jump bluff.
Yeah, but still.
It is
Mhm.
it is max speed. So we calced it and I was like, yeah, it's not gonna do that much, but doing 30%
Better than
is
nothing.
not nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I was really shocked by was how little the last resort did.
Yeah, this last resort doesn't
Yeah,
go
that's
that
what I
hard.
was surprised by.
I mean, it
I was
has to be a
surprised
roll.
that
It's
I was shocked that I survived that.
like the 1%
Yeah, it's gotta be a
HP.
fucking roll. Like you just got a low roll on Pull and Puff and a low roll on Last Resort or something.
Something, I don't know. That's insane. Celebi's goaded. But yeah, the Giga Drain also puts Celebi back in a pretty good, almost not back to where it was, but like, yeah, it's kind of rough.
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I probably should have switched Celebi at that point. I got greedy there. I was like, oh, I survived the last resort. I'm unstoppable.
Yeah. I mean, the Giga Drain did make it look pretty good. I don't know. The knockoff, good wake up
I'm
on
always hesitant to
Sneasel.
switch when I've said
Pretty lucky wake up.
maybe a weakness.
I think that was what, 2 turns of sleep?
As a
Oh,
teacher
yeah.
wake up, that's
Yeah, it's
pretty
not
pretty normal. But you
normal.
did
Okay.
correctly call the covert cloak because we found out that getting having Kangaskhan versus Sneasel, you lose that fake out fight every single time, and it's really bad.
Yeah.
So covert cloak plus Scrappy's the only choice, considering that you have your main threat in Typhlosion.
Yeah. Yeah, the covert cloak's huge for letting you win that fake out battle, and with Scrappy, even the Terra Ghost doesn't save Sneasel, so it is pretty nice. But yeah, you see you switch into Heracross and then immediately switch into Typhlosion when you see the Lugia. That lets you.
Yeah.
Oh, something that I noticed that you
Terrified of
mentioned, Carter, is you're really worried about Sneasel getting faked out. And that's something that we practiced against is don't fake out the Sneasel. It's going to run inner focus. You can't flinch it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. In hindsight, I'm not sure why I went I think I was just going Terra Ghost because I didn't want to. I knew that Kangaskhan was probably just going to be running either. I knew it was going to be either fake out last resort or something drain punch break.
Yeah,
break,
a
break, break.
fighting move
Like,
would kill you
A fighting
instantly.
move would
Yeah,
have just killed me instantly. So yeah,
I
that's
can
what I
understand
was worried
that.
about.
But yeah, you frisk
I mean, I
the
had
weakness.
Sash, but still.
Frisk the weakness policy, frisk the sash, go for the taunt into Lugia, not letting it set up. I like that. But Jumpluff gets another tailwind. I mean, Jumpluff kind of just chilling. We see the sleep powder
Yeah.
missing, unfortunate there, and then the taunt goes into the jump bluff along with the flamethrower, bringing it down to Sash, but Kingdra is back out after the taunt. It's an interesting switch, like taunt into instant switch. I mean, it's a safe switch into this Typhlosion, right? Typhlosion really hates Kingdra, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we talked about is that Jump Bluff Kingdra's fucking guaranteed safe turn one versus Typhlosion, so there's nothing you can do, at least not on the first turn, to slow him down.
Yeah. So we see the Terra Fairy. I'm not 100% on why that is,
Like, not
but
having triple axle like kind of fucks me here because I can't even do neutral to Kingdra.
yeah,
Okay,
the
oh,
flip
yeah,
turn, double into the protect, knock off the loaded dice, so that does kind of suck for Kingdra not being able to do its scale shot, but we see a helping hand and a wave crash into the Typhlosion. I guess forgetting the tailwind, I assume.
Oh my god, I went helping hand on Sneasel. That's insane. That's insane. What the fuck? What was I thinking?
I mean, forgetting Tailwind, you thought Typhlosion would be faster, but you're just not. So that's a helping hand into a dead Pokemon. That's a pretty
Yeah.
rough blunder of a turn, to be honest. So yeah, the wave
Yeah.
crash is knocking it out. Huge damage from Kingdra. But yeah, we see the taunt into Lugia, but with the Swords Dance, this is such a greedy Swords Dance, I'm not gonna lie, with Lugia. I guess you're hoping Lugia is just gonna set up, but Lugia is not gonna set up into Heracross. It just kills that instantly. Easy flip turn, and this game is
I
super
figured
over.
It's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of over. I knew that Lugia had fucking weakness policy, so I couldn't just like pop a rock slide in there, you know?
Yeah.
I needed to set up.
Yeah, but yeah,
But yeah.
the matchup's too bad for Heracross into the Lugia. Honestly, Lugia
A 4x
looking good.
weakness is rough. Yeah, Lugia was surprisingly good. The weakness policy is solid. Like weakness policy Calm Mind is one of the only times that's like Lugia's feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I think weakness policy is so big for Lugia because even super effective moves don't kill it, like most of the time, and then it can heal itself. It's fast enough. Like I don't know, it's pretty good.
Weakness policy plus multi-scale is like a devastating combo. That's like fucking
Yeah.
goated right there.
Yeah.
You need to like hit it with something neutral to break multi-scale. Otherwise, like, yeah,
And
it's
then
such
like
a
set
trap.
up and kill it. You almost need haze against Lugia sometimes. It feels like because yeah, I don't know. But yeah, let's see what happens.
So I
in
pivot
Gen2.
here and I bring Murkrow instead of Sneasel, which is a big mistake, I think. Not bringing Sneasel is a big mistake.
Yeah, Sneasel's kind of your best matchup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can tell you definitively that Sneasel fucks this team up really hard.
But yeah, we see Murkrow and Celebi. The fake out goes into the Celebi. Jump Bluff on the other side, getting taunted, which will stop it from using Tailwind. So a bit of a wash on turn one. Yeah, this is toxic into Jump Bluff. I gotta say, I don't really understand that one. Or do you have foul play? I mean, I understand having toxic because it's good into
I don't
Lugia.
have foul play.
Okay, so there you go. Yeah, no foul play means toxic is
Yeah,
your
I
only
probably
way to
could have
break
just gone
Sash.
for a Tailwind, though. The Tailwind probably would have been more beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, you can break Sash. The Pollen Puff does a lot of damage with the Last Resort. Celebi nearly dead already. Citrus Berry will heal it a little bit, but the Nasty Plot comes out. Celebi's slower, though. I mean, you have the Tailwind pressure, though, with Murkrow, so it's not impossible. We do see a swap into the Lugia, the Terra Fairy. Is this just to, I guess, just to resist the
It's for Pollen
Puff,
Puff.
yeah? The
Yeah,
Giga
'cause it's
Drain.
taunted. So it's like I was 100% sure it was going to do Pollen Puff, and it's not happened. But, yeah.
Alright, the Giga Drain will heal you up. Is it enough to survive the Last Resort? Yes, just barely. This Last Resort is, I mean, that's a tanky Pokemon.
But the Terra Steel
Handsteel is such a good move.
That's game winning right there.
Yeah, that was a really smart usage of the Terra right there. Not very obvious, I feel like. I mean, you only barely survive anyway, but yeah, this is a huge Terra Steel, letting you survive and then go for the Last Resort into the Murkrow as well, with the Aeroblast hitting the other slot. I like that targeting as well, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
you're getting more damage into the... Like, you're just straight up getting more damage by splitting your targets that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty nice stuff. And 2 turns of Tailwind still to play around with, though. Typhlosion is out, can get a pretty good Eruption here. Very safe. But the switch, very good pivot, means this Eruption just, I mean, man, it just feels kind of weak. The Thunderbolt goes out into
Yeah, and the
Mantine.
Thunderbolt going into that slot was just, oh, that was so terrible because that's just a free, like, most of my health on Mantine.
Yeah, that switch not feeling so good. And that's not even like you're anticipating the Mantine switch. That's just like Thunderbolt's good into Murkrow, but
Yeah, exactly.
oh boy, here's a bunch of free damage. Um, and yeah, that Kingdra switch. I mean, boy, Kingdra does not give a shit about Typhlosion. It surely does not. Did we see the Protect come out from Mantine? Another Eruption just to get some more chip. I mean, Lugia is going down, but the Recover just buys you time,
Yeah.
and then Flip Turn is going to mean your Eruption is no longer very effective at such low HP. We see a Protect come out. The Fake Out goes into that Protect slot, so that's nice. But the Thunderbolt's just faster, and Mantine didn't really get to do anything. It bought some time for
Yeah, at this
Toxic to
point
get
it was
Lugia
already just
down.
over because there was no way to get a clean switch into Murkrow.
Yeah, I mean, there's also just no way for you to do damage to Kingdra,
Yeah.
like, period. Yeah.
I do kill Lugia though with the Toxic, so there you go.
And you get to
Okay,
pick up
and
an
yeah,
extra
Shell
kill.
Club, too.
You get to pick up an extra kill, so Typhlosion's still padding the stats. Um, but, yeah, overall, super clean from Chris. Kind of an overwhelming victory. And I like the pivoting. I like the moves, switching out and stuff. Really good stuff.
Yeah, I'm just so happy for him. I'm glad that he got a win. It's
Yeah, I even said in my video, like, if I was gonna lose to someone, I'm glad it was Chris.
Yeah. Very good. So congrats to Chris. I hope this is the beginning of the comeback arc. Go make a
I
deep
hope so.
playoff run.
But I'll tell you, if we face again in the playoffs, there will be no mercy, and I'll be bringing my all because this was like not nearly my all.
hey, I can invent a new team for this. We can see.
Alrighty. Let's get into our last matchup. This one is Robin. This is your matchup versus Brian.
Absolutely.
And this is another really fun one with a debut Pokemon.
Truly, yeah, and one that I was really happy to debut, Ariados, picked either last or second to last. No, last.
Last.
Sort of a meme pick. And when I was thinking about this matchup, I was like, I think I can make Ariados not bad.
Yeah.
I have Belly Drum.
Redirection's crazy. I mean, redirection, we've seen the power of redirection. Some of the redirection supports that were riding the bench until now, between Furret and Ariados, both coming out this week and looking really strong. Obviously, Furret not picking up the wins, but still looking, I think, pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Furret's the better redirector. It's got the, Follow Me versus Rage Powder, and just
Yeah, it is.
everything else it's got going on. Ariados is definitely the poor man's pick.
But it does. It's gonna work here. Let's.
One
let's
thing
see
my
how it
team
goes.
doesn't have is the redirect. It's such a good option.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same.
So my entire strategy is to just lead Azumarill, Ariados, and then just go to town. I Terra Steel here because I was actually really worried about Sludge Wave, because that was something that probably would take, like, even after Citrus Berry, I might not have enough health
For the
to Belly Drum,
Belly
which would kind
Drum.
of boom me turn one.
Yeah.
Bug off. I only just noticed that's the name.
That's pretty good. This Misdreavus, I don't want to say too much too early, but it uses trick and that is going to be something it does a lot, and it doesn't always make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I actually asked him at the end. I was like, "What? what were you doing? Like, what did you like? Clearly, you had something in mind."
I mean, trick
Um,
eject button I get, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I guess you could have tricked an eject button onto Azumarill, and that maybe would have fucked it up. But if I had just run, if I had run like choice or something, I would have chosen like liquidation, and I would probably have hit first, or I would have, like, I don't know. I don't see this play ever really working, and redirection completely breaks it.
yeah.
That's true.
I mean, I could
And
see if you think it's Porygon 2, tricking the eject button onto it and then hitting it, it like stops it. It removes its Eviolite while also
Yeah,
stopping it from using Trick Room in the same move, which is
yeah.
like,
I think
which is
that's the
cool.
plan.
I mean, that is
And it's a cool
cool,
plan if you
but
get that lead, but
if you don't,
but
it's too hard to like to plan for a very specific
inconsistent,
situation.
inconsistent.
after talking with him, he was mostly scared about Venusaur, a Pokemon that I did not bring to this match. Like it was on my active roster, but I didn't bring it to either game. Spoiler.
Yeah,
Um,
we haven't seen Venusaur like much at all this season.
no, because
Venusaur fans in shambles.
every matchup, I keep realizing that Venusaur is a little too fragile. You have to baby it a little too much in a lot of these matchups.
Yeah, without,
Anyway,
yeah,
but once I get Belly Drum off, it's kind of off to the races. I thought this might be a fucking safety goggles Nidoking at first, but turns out Incinerate's a spread move. Who knew?
yeah, it's an interesting option. I mean, the belly drum does come out, and the eject button, like it does do the job of like getting rid of the redirector, I guess, but it's too little, too late. And the Aqua Jet starts going. This is where it's
But
like
here's the
I feel like if you just have Shadow Ball, like then you have a chance. Like, can't you just Shadow Ball this Pokemon? Like, I don't know. But in prison,
yeah, but here's the trick. I wanted Noctowl out next.
yeah, you
For a
that's
variety
true.
of reasons, I wanted Noctowl. Like, Aridos's whole job was to
Get the belly drum.
rage powder and die.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's really not that bad. Yeah, and then Noctowl can set up. But yeah, this I mean, okay. You Scizor has a priority move, but I guess it
Mhm.
doesn't go for it. I mean, it wouldn't have done much, but could it have done the 17% it needed? I'm not sure, but we'll never
Maybe.
know.
In practice, it probably could have picked up the 17%.
Yeah,
That's why often I would go ahead and Tailwind with Noctowl, even if I was planning on using Aqua Jet, just at the faster priority.
yeah. Especially like if you use Terra Steel, I think you can pick up 17%. Like even
But he
resist it.
already used Terra Poison.
That's true. Yeah, that was weird. You're hoping to survive the Aqua Jet with the Terra Poison, I guess, but you never were going to. I mean,
Yeah,
you did a
no,
turn
that's
one, so you didn't know, I guess, that the belly drum was coming out, but yeah. And now we
Yeah,
see this
but
is where the tricks start to get weird. Like,
yeah, I don't disagree with doing the trick turn one and then just having it not work. Like, that's fine, it happens. But continuing to use trick is where I don't understand it as much.
I mean, I assume you just don't have Shadow Ball. Because if you did, there's two opportunities you could have Shadow Balled a Azumarill, and like, even if the first one didn't kill, you'd definitely be killing it right now, and then you could at least play the game. But you can't, because Aqua Jet's just gonna kill you. So you don't really get to
I
even have
think
the chance to play the game, and now the Shadow Ball comes out.
then you use Shadow Ball on it.
Yeah, I use Shadow Ball specifically for Misdreavus because I wanted a way, like I didn't want to like instant lose the game if I got to a situation like this.
Yeah, I mean,
It
I think
seems Brian's just using Misdreavus as like a blank slate for experimentation.
yeah, it kind of does seem that way. Like, I wonder what the other moves are. I mean, we know it's Imprison, Trick, and what was the other one? We saw another move. I already forgot what it was. Or did we only see Imprison and Trick? No, we only saw Imprison and Trick,
Hold
didn't
on,
we?
I'm looking it up. It's actually here's the team. It's Trick, Imprison, Sunny Day, and Trick Room. The idea was to use Imprison to
Right.
prevent
Yeah.
either the Venusaur sweep via Sun or via Trick Room. Like he was really
Yeah.
worried about
I get
Trick
it.
Room going up. He was really worried about Sunny Day
Sunny
sweeps.
day. Yeah.
So in practice, I guess that's what he saw. I'm not sure
Yeah.
why,
Yeah,
since he
so
has Politoed to set the
Misdreavus is just
weather.
this like,
Yeah, you can
one
avoid the
size
weather with
fits all
Polytoad
support.
instead. You can definitely avoid the weather with Polytoad instead. I mean, also just like this is a demonstration of why having zero damaging moves is like kind of a trap because you end up with like Azumarill could have died. Azumarill could have died like definitely with a couple of Shadow Balls. If not one, two of them would do it. And so like you kind of just screwed yourself. And honestly, even Sunny Day I would have liked more than using these random tricks that do nothing. Like why are you like taking throat
Yeah.
spray and and
mean,
giving
we
away a
see
mental herb. Like, you just gave away a mental herb and did nothing. Like, the citrus berry was already eaten, right? So it's like, yeah, just
Mhm.
Sunny Day at least reduce the Aqua Jet damage. I don't know that it makes a difference. It almost definitely doesn't. But it's half damage on Aqua Jet. Like, that's got to be worth something,
Yep.
right? I don't
And
know.
we see Sunny Day in game 2. Again, spoilers.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see how this game 2 goes. I mean, now you know.
And this start ends up way cleaner. And again, I'm gonna instant Terra Steel because I'm worried about Sludge Wave. But he predicts that I would Terra Steel and uses
The Earth
Earth
Power.
Power,
Yeah.
forgetting about Redirect.
I mean, you gotta try, right? The Sunny Day
I mean,
also,
it's
it does make
Yeah.
sense to reduce the
I still
damage
think
from
Incinerate
Azumarill.
though,
Incinerate would
Sunny
have
Day
been better
Incinerate
there.
might have done it.
Oh yeah, because you just need
I only
50%.
barely got into Trick Room range, like into Belly Drum range before without, and since Incinerate
Was more with the
destroys the
Sunny Day.
berry, it's a
Yeah.
really good option into
Yeah.
this strategy specifically.
That would have been really good.
Yeah, that actually would have worked. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so I was kind of surprised that he didn't go for Incinerate again since yeah, he lost game 1, but not by that much. Like if he had made a couple different decisions in the mid game there, it would have been way closer.
But the belly drum just gets to go off for free, and once this belly drum is off, man, it's pretty brutal. You see the rage powder
Right.
again, the aqua jet, even in the
I still
sun,
have Rage Powder.
Even in sun, huh?
and then
And
swapping the
since
eject
I have the
button.
eject button, but since nothing's damaging me, it doesn't matter.
Now the sun with the Terra
And
Steel does allow the Raikou to live.
yeah, I mean Terra
mean, the Terra Steel
Steel
doesn't
doesn't
matter, but-
resist, so it's a neutral either way. But still, a guaranteed clean 2-shot in the sun is pretty fucking brutal because Aqua Jet's not that strong.
That's the saddest aura sphere I've ever seen in my life. The 7%.
Bug is unironically so good. Bug sweep for real.
I mean, you get the eject button, so that's something. The trick comes out. Now you're just giving away a mental herb again, which is like weird. But
Yeah,
you don't
why
really
are
have
you
anything
so
else you
picky?
can do. I mean, if you're in prison in trick room, like that's you just use trick, I
That's
guess.
it. That's yeah.
And now that aqua jet,
mischievous.
even with the steel and the sun, it does pick up the other 50%. That's got to be kind of close. Is it 50% both times? It's 50% exactly both times, huh? Interesting.
I
Interesting.
guess I could run the numbers, but
Yeah.
yeah, in testing, even Sun barely made a difference. Like it just turns a one shot into 2.
Yeah. And now we're sat around tricking, and here comes Scizor, the priority move.
Yeah. I
Oh, the close
Go
combat
ahead.
actually gets you the kill. Okay, nice.
I used Hyper Voice because it's stronger option than Shadow Ball, and in practice I was practicing against Sashed Scissor.
Yeah, the rage
We
powder.
didn't even use Porygon 2 in this whole series, I just realized.
No, I did, like, again, you don't know this, but I did bring Porygon 2 and back because in practice I found that by the time, like, if you're able to kill Azumarill by that time, you don't have enough left in the tank to
To do
whittle
a
down
Porygon.
Porygon 2.
Yeah. I can see that. So yeah, the hyper voice will finish off with that calm mind, and now it's just a mischievous with nothing, and Ariados does the final hit. Very fitting. We love Ariados. Hats off to Ariados.
MVP.
MVP Ariados. So
I love
good.
this little bug. Fuck yeah.
And that's it. That's our review.
One of the only, like, fun fact, one of the only, like, bug types who gets Rage Powder, which I think is a bug type move.
It is a bug
It is.
type move.
It's almost
Yeah.
exclusively given to grass types.
Yeah.
Because fuck bug types.
Because fuck bug types.
But Ariados is doing it. Love to see it.
Yep.
All right, and that's going to be the review. Any closing thoughts before I end the stream?
No, I think that the only thing I'll say is with the firsts we saw from my team and from your team, and bringing Houndoom, there's only a handful of Pokemon left that haven't made an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Like from my team, it's just Delibird. From Luke's team, it's just Apom and Dunsparce. And I think Meganium hasn't been brought. So actually,
The game was brought.
Meganium was brought. It
okay,
was it was really bad.
Yeah.
I would like to see some more diversity. If we're getting deep in the season, now's the time to break out any bag of tricks, any gimmicky strategies you have.
Mm-hmm.
So take a look at your roster and see if there's literally anything they can do.
Yeah. Well, there's only one more week to mess around with though as well. Like you gotta worry about playoffs and then it's all serious. Practice time is
I just
over.
need to I just need to bring Yanma. That's the one Pokemon I haven't brought yet. My
That's why
ace
you
in the
listen.
hole.
You would have won if you had brought Yanma.
If I brought Yanma. Yeah. No one's ready. No one's prepared
If
for
I
Yanma.
I needed to slot in Miltank. That was my last one. I reached 100% usage with Miltank coming in this
Yeah.
week, so I'm happy. I did it. But yeah, no, definitely very fun. It's nice to see that adaptations are still happening this late in the season. It's gonna mean that everyone has a lot of things to think about going into the playoffs. And overall, I'm really happy. Like now, at least every team has a win. Across the board, it's like mostly pretty even. Like the number one and two are very firmly myself and Lily. Um, three, I think Robin pretty much has that on lock, almost no matter what. Um,
Yep.
but everything else, like 4 through 7, is kind of a toss up. I think Carter, you're pretty almost guaranteed. Like I think you're gonna be 4, even if you lose. But I don't. I actually really don't know. I'm not 100% on the numbers, but
I think it's so if I win and Robin loses, then I think we're tied.
We're
and
tied
Um,
record-wise, but I beat Watson, which is a high ranked team, and you lost to the number 8
but
seeds.
but I
So
will
yeah, you
beat
did
you
win in the
in
head
the
to
one on
head.
one. Yeah, in the head to head.
But
the head to
but I
head
think my
goes.
my wins are better than your losses.
Yeah, I mean we
Well,
always just use the head to head for the tiebreakers, but
Yeah,
like
I know.
yeah, but we use that first, and then we use the quality of the matches. But yeah, I think it's close. My point is that it's close. There's a lot of room 4 through 7, and I think there's a lot of room,
yeah.
especially 5 through 7. Chris is
Hmm.
unfortunately guaranteed going to be taking that 8th slot. Um,
Yep.
but he could have the same record as James. It's just James beat Chris in the head to head. So again, it's like a head to head thing. Um, Also, it's worth noting. I think James, despite being like rank 7, is the only team to beat the Commanders so far, which is the number one team. So that's pretty cool. And then Robin, you're the only one to take a game off of me. So just some interesting little facts for you. But yeah, pretty exciting stuff. And catch us in the look ahead where we'll talk more about the upcoming matchups. But that is it for the review. Thank you